The New York Times writes Hawaii wildfire, at least 36 dead in Maui fires. At least 36 deaths have been linked to wildfires that tore through the Hawaiian island of Maui, county officials said late Wednesday night. At least 3 wildfires began raging on Maui on Tuesday, with some so intense that at least a dozen people escaped by jumping into the Pacific Ocean, where they were later rescued by the U.S. Coast Guard. The fires, which had been largely contained as of Wednesday night, burned much of the town of Lahaina, which was once Hawaii's royal capital. The Wall Street Journal writes colleges spend like there's no tomorrow. These places are just devouring money. The nation's best-known public universities have been on an unfettered spending spree. Over the past 2 decades, they erected new skylines comprising snazzy academic buildings and dorms. They poured money into big-time sports programs and hired layers of administrators. The Washington Post writes, Democrats may embrace abortion rights even more tightly after Ohio win. After Ohio, voters turned out in unexpectedly high numbers Tuesday to reject a Republican-backed referendum that would have made it harder to enshrine abortion rights in the state's constitution. Democrats are eyeing new opportunities to highlight abortion rights in the 2024 election. They are pushing new ballot initiatives on abortion access in places like Arizona and Florida, calling out Republicans in states where bans are taking effect, and encouraging President Biden to speak out more forcefully on the issue as he pursues a campaign that so far has focused more on the economy. USA Today writes, How did the Maui fires start? What we know about humans making disasters worse. Officials are unsure what started the ongoing blazes in Maui that have killed 6 people, forced hundreds of evacuations, torched structures, left thousands without power, and prompted some locals to bolt into the ocean to escape marauding flames. But some experts said they suspect human development on the island is at least partly to blame for the destruction. Wildfires have quadrupled in Hawaii in recent decades, and many scientists say the culprit is unmanaged. Non-native grasslands planted by plantations and ranchers, and others unfamiliar with the island's native ecosystems. The grass is dry and prone to fires. Los Angeles Times writes athlete, honor student, murderer. How did a UC Davis student spiral into an accused killer? The testimony in Carlos Reales Dominguez's competency trial raised one enormous question. Why did no one intervene as the young man spiraled from high school honor student to accused murderer? During his freshman year at UC Davis, he confided in friends that he was hearing voices. A few months after starting his sophomore year, he told his then-girlfriend the devil was talking to him in his dreams. Over that same academic year, a roommate spotted him several times moving his mouth, but with no words coming out. Chicago Tribune writes Tinley Creek Club taking over the Madison sky on Saturday to celebrate National Model Aviation Day. The Southland sky will fill with the sights and sounds of airplanes, helicopters, jets, and drones this weekend when the Tinley Creek Remote Control Flying Club celebrates National Model Aviation Day at its flying field in Madison. We are going to be setting up a huge display with planes that will cordon off, and we'll have helicopters, some drones, said Mike Zubik, the club's president and founder. We're going to have some jets. Some of the guys who fly bigger planes will put those in the air and show how they fly. New York Post writes, deadly raid-armed Trump supporter killed in FBI raid tied to threats against Biden top. The deadly shooting occurred in Provo around 6:15 a.m. when the feds tried to serve arrest and search warrants at a home. The FBI office in Salt Lake City told the Post in a statement. A federal complaint obtained by the Post from the Utah U.S. Attorney's Office identified the suspect at the center of the probe that prompted Wednesday's raid as 75-year-old Craig Robertson. New York Daily News writes, readers sound off on sea level rise, DeSantis's Londonderry, New Hampshire. The melting of our glaciers and the Arctic and Antarctic ice shelves due to global warming will continue to cause rising sea levels around the world. If the melting continues at the current rate, By 2050, about 150 million of Earth's people who live near coastlines could be displaced due to flooding. Sea levels could rise by up to 8 feet by 2100. Newsday writes, accused Gilgo Beach serial killer engaged in disturbing activity in months before arrest. Suffolk's top cop says he's somebody that was still engaging in activity that was disturbing, be it his internet searches, be it engaging in other activities that he shouldn't be engaging in. How a special task force got Rex Hoyerman, a Chevrolet Avalanche, pizza crust, and burner cell phones. Star Tribune writes about 38,000 people lose Medicaid coverage in Minnesota. Interpreting the figure is difficult, state officials say, since many might have switched to other health insurance.